Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We've got some very interesting news over the past 24 hours in regards to a major future update for Call of Duty, something that Call of Duty has not done in a very, very long time. And this all actually stems back to a major acquisition that happened a little while back with Microsoft taking over Activision Blizzard King. At that time, we got reports, for instance, from Brad Smith here, the vice chair and president over at Microsoft, saying, "We want the record to be clear and address any misunderstandings. I'm delighted to repost below this statement and affirm Microsoft's strong commitment to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo's customers if the acquisition of Activision Blizzard is approved by regulators." This was before it obviously was complete, saying that they've signed and negotiated a 10-year deal to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo the same day as Xbox, with all the main features, all the main content parity, so on and so forth. The thing is that obviously now Microsoft owns Activision Blizzard, everything going on there. We've seen games drop. We haven't seen anything happen to Call of Duty and Nintendo. We're still waiting for this. When is COD going to be on Nintendo Switch 2? What COD is going to be on Nintendo Switch 2? There were a lot of talks, a lot of rumors. Oh, could Black Ops 7 be launching on this as like a surprise drop? What's going to happen here? Well, we've now actually got some new information. This article was posted earlier today on Insider Gaming. Call of Duty's first Nintendo Switch title is, quote, nearly done, it's claimed. In February 2023, Microsoft inked a 10-year deal to bring COD to Nintendo platforms. The deal was signed amidst Microsoft's landmark acquisition of Activision Blizzard, but fast forward to today, and Nintendo's space is still without a Call of Duty title. You may recall that way back when Call of Duty had like Nintendo DS games, like what was it, Black Ops Declassified? It wasn't Declassified, I just Googled, it was just the original Black Ops, which is hilarious to think that we had a Black Ops title on the Nintendo DS way back in the day, but like COD on Nintendo hasn't really been a thing in quite some time, and this was a major announcement when it was first revealed that COD would be coming back to Nintendo Switch, you know, giving you the option to maybe play on the go, a different platform, to play a new way to increase the player count even more, with a broader reach to now every single platform being on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, mobile with COD Mobile, and Nintendo as well. According to one insider, that might be about to change. In a recent claim posted to social media, it was suggested that Call of Duty is a few months away from launching on Nintendo Switch 2. So when is Call of Duty coming to Nintendo Switch? That's the big question. According to Windows Central's Jez Corden, the first Call of Duty Switch version is set to land on the platform in a few months, is the quote. So at some point in presumably the first half of 2026, Corden explained that the spanner in the works concerned the lack of developer kits for the Nintendo Switch 2, which has been a pretty public issue since before the console launched back in June. So people just weren't able to get their hands on developer kits and actually have the ability to start making these ports and to start making these games. So Jez Corden was asked here, saying, yes, the first COD Switch version is nearly done and it's launching in a few months. Now, Corden did not explain which Call of Duty title is being ported to Nintendo Switch 2, leaving it up to fans to surmise what's on the way. There's a lengthy lineup to pick from. It could be Warzone, which would promote the fastest adoption on Nintendo Switch 2, or it could be a recent release like Black Ops 6. This is what's going to be really interesting about which COD is actually coming here. Is it going to be Black Ops 7 being released? Because the hype window for Black Ops 7 obviously was right at launch, and we've seen there hasn't been a ton of hype post-launch so far. While the game I still think is very good, there's just not a lot of hype around this. Adding in an old COD title like Black Ops 6 would certainly be interesting, and I don't think that would sell incredibly well. I think if they're looking to actually garner an audience on Switch, Warzone would probably be the way to go. And then that introduces an even larger question, and that's kind of what Insider Gaming alludes to here. Fans aren't too sure about Black Ops 7 being released on it. If we were betting people, I think the safest wager would be in the Warzone stakes. Recently, Sledgehammer also started hiring for developers with AAA mobile or Nintendo Switch experience. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But when it comes to availability here, Warzone would be particularly interesting, because then you've got to open up the conversation of, okay, what is actually going to be playable here with Warzone? Are we just doing Resurgence? Are we doing full-on Battle Royale on Verdansk? Is it going to be cross-play enabled? So someone on a Switch 2 playing handheld on their car on the way to the airport or something could also be playing against someone on a $5,000 PC maxing out at, 200 plus FPS, 1440p. That's a pretty distinct, difference there in the quality of gameplay, which could be pretty wild. Is that going to mean the player pool is going to be limited to just Switch there? Then are you going to be able to fill lobbies, especially for Battle Royale? Is there going to have to be a casual-like mode, basically forcing bots and forcing AI into the lobbies to fill those up? What is that experience actually going to be like? That's obviously a huge question here. And as we do get closer to this actually coming to fruition, considering we're going to have a major announcement about this, it won't just be like a shadow drop where, oh, suddenly Warzone's available on the Switch too, and you wake up one morning. No, Call of Duty, Nintendo, Microsoft, they're going to promote the heck out of this, I'd imagine, get those pre-orders in, get the hype up as much as they can for the launch of this. We'll be breaking that all down when that time comes, so be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay in the know for everything going on there. But there's another really interesting piece here that we just sort of alluded to that Insider Gaming talks about, and that is Sledgehammer posting that they are hiring for developers with mobile or Nintendo Switch experience. This article was posted about a month ago, actually, late November here, with Sledgehammer hiring these devs. New job listings have revealed that Sledgehammer Games is currently hiring developers who have experience with a Nintendo Switch, suggesting that their next COD title could also be coming to the platform. Their next COD title lined up for Call of Duty 2027, obviously this next year, 2026, Infinity Ward, Modern Warfare 4. After that, Sledgehammer is going to be a brand new sub-franchise. So not a Black Ops, not a Modern Warfare, not Advanced Warfare 2, not Vanguard 2, an entirely new sub-franchise. And that, presumably, based on these reports and these clues, is going to be available on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Nintendo Switch. Obviously, COD Mobile will probably still be a thing there as well for the mobile platforms, but that's particularly interesting as well. Obviously, the first one has to come out, whether it's Warzone, whether it's BO6, BO7, whatever this first Nintendo Switch title is that's coming in a few months, that's got to drop, and then it's probably going to be a pretty regular thing, as Microsoft committed that when a new COD launches, it'll be their day one on the Switch with all the same content as the main games. So this is the start of a pretty big wave for COD finally getting to a platform that it has not been on in Nintendo in quite some time. So curious to hear from you guys. Those of you who do have Switches, like me personally, I play like Pokemon and that's about it on my Switch so far, but would you be interested in playing Call of Duty on a Switch? If you have a Switch, is COD a game you'd actually buy on it, or are you sticking to that on your PlayStation, on your Xbox, on your PC if you also have those as well? What's your outlook on this currently? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. Of course, if you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it. And if you're new here, as a reminder, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay in the know for everything going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.